All right. Enough of that. Hey there, guys. It's Eric Farrar, broker co-owner 1850 Realty. Today we're going to discuss part 2 of our solar series, economic realities of solar. And the first question we're going to address is, does solar add value to your property? This is one of the biggest things these sales reps tell folks out there is their first pitch is, put solar on. It's going to increase value of your home. For an out-of-pocket purchase you own outright, it can add perceived value. Does it add appraised value? It's a little dubious right now. It's very tough to get an analog on an appraisal because not all homes have solar and not all solar systems are created equal and not all use cases are equal. So solar is considered a fixture or appliance, and even the solar systems say that. If you have a lease or a power purchase agreement, does it add value to your home? It does not. And they also say that in writing. So I've got a copy of a solar contract here for a power purchase. We are not improving your property because the system is and shall at all times throughout the term remain our sole personal property. So it's really tough to say your house is worth more money if someone else's boxes are in the attic. It's kind of the same type of thing. Is there perceived value? Absolutely. There's perceived value. And we're going to break down some of the costs associated with all three types. I've got examples for power purchase. I've got examples for a lease, and I have 2 examples on an out-of-pocket purchase with financing options. So we're going to start at the top with the power purchase agreement. This is a client that we had helped that was told that they could take the system. They have part of that in writing, and because their move took them to a different utility area, the company said, yeah, we're not going to move it. We don't deal with them. However, this company also sells systems and power purchase agreements in the neighboring district. So that was a kind of a bummer for our client. The power purchase contract simply stipulates that the customer will pay the utility, the power purchase agreement, 16.5 cents a kilowatt hour for the first year, not to exceed 2.5% increase over a 20-year term. There are no specifics to the install size, what it's expected to generate, and what those costs are expected to be. So that's one thing to keep in mind. We did not have that in writing from either the seller or the company during escrow. Kind of a lot to think about. My example number 2, the lease example. This is a client we helped purchase a property with a 20-year lease with a 3-month-old system. So they bought it year 0 with 3 months. This is a fairly decent lease. Actually, it's an 8 kilowatt system, which is massive. It's on a nice size home, and the lease payment is $177.33 a month. Not bad at all. Total out-of-pocket costs at the end of the lease term, $42,559. And then there is an option to either purchase this system, which is not a dollar figure, is not in writing, or they haul it off. So you get to offset your power. I don't have access to the usage of this system, but I can tell you that 177 buys you not a whole lot of power right now. So my use case is a 4 kilowatt system, $244 a month offset. So $177 a month for an 8 kilowatt system. That's a pretty sold deal. I don't know that I would do the lease. I'm not super comfortable with that, having something on my roof that someone else owns, but that's not a bad shake. If we come to the out-of-pocket purchase, and this is going to be done one of 2 ways. I'm going to break down the system that I have the quote for, and then I'm going to go ahead and assume in a linear fashion that we could double that system and offset my power use from the company to 0. So this is going to be broken down in 2 phases, one out of pocket and one with financing, particularly hero style financing that I have a contract for. So if we go to the initial system, 4.3 kilowatts, out of pocket cost $20,251 installed with the federal tax credit, which in the year 2020 is 26%. So that system, after the federal tax credit, which for this year in 2020 is 26%, That gives us an out-of-pocket cost of $20,251 plus a tax credit of $5,400. So our total out-of-pocket with the tax credit is $14,985 out-of-pocket. That gives us 5.1 years to break even out-of-pocket after the tax credit. Not bad. That's getting into the realm that I would consider doable. If we do that finance system with the hero terms that I had outlined, our total is $35,496. We take the same tax deduction, roll it against the principal. That gives our total loan amount $30,000. That breaks down to 10.3 years to break even if we were to finance this at the 7.95% rate. 10 years is a fairly long time for my liking, but again, it's still doable. At that finance term, I calculate based on my year-over-year use a $51 negative per month. So I would actually be costing myself $51 a month more for 10 years to get to that break-even term. So that changes the math a little bit if you look at it like that. If we were to double the system and do those same terms, we would be at $40,500 for 8 kilowatts, which would offset my electrical use almost 100%. For cash, that dropped that down to $29,971 with a 5.65 break-even point after tax credit. Again, that's coming into the realm of doable. That's pretty nice. And I bet you could do this system yourself and save even more money. If we were to do the hero financing, same thing, roll the tax credit against it, I'm at 9.4 years to break even with a full offset. That's a pretty long time for me. I wouldn't be comfortable doing that. And, it's just up to you guys whether are you going to be in your house for 5 to 10 more years? Are you expecting to increase your use, put a pool in? Those are good terms to think about, especially if you're a high use case where you're into tier 3 and you're hitting those high usage fees. We had one of those last summer, and it jumped our bill almost 30% for just the high use penalty alone. It was kind of ridiculous. That took a high AC month to whoa, this is a luxury car payment type of bill. There's a lot of options out there, guys, and we just want you to be aware of the overall ramifications of these things because they are typically outside of the financing where they have to legally disclose to you the terms and the amount. You just want to know what you're getting for paying all this money, especially if you're going to go with a lease or a power purchase. You want to be mindful at the end of your term, whether it's you in the house or someone buying it, what's going to happen to this system. Again, with the lease and a power purchase, you have someone else's personal property on your house. The system is not yours, and you're simply obligated to make a payment and make use of the electricity generated. Simple as that. So I hope that we've broken down some of this stuff in a digestible manner. There's a lot with these things to go over, and a lot of it is fairly unique to your property, your exposure, your electrical use, and how big of a system you would like to put on. So again, if you want any resources for that stuff or you have any questions or comments, feel free to let us know. Eric at 1850realty.com or 760-814-1850. As always, guys, we'll see you on the next one.